Hi there and welcome. And you're now viewing genealogyhangout.com, and I'm Fiona. I am the founder of genealogyhangout.com. Welcome. I mentioned getting started, genealogy getting started, in the last broadcast. And I'd like to follow up with some information that I think is really valuable when you do get started, when you're first beginning your journey for genealogy. So let me go over a couple of little things that I think are really, really important for people. And it might seem obvious, but so many people do crazy things and they get information from silly places. So let's go. I want you to not just copy other trees. You might find a couple of names that look familiar, but because they look familiar doesn't mean that they're the right people. So that's really important when you're searching on the internet. Now, if you're going to attach any records to your trees, I want you to make sure that you read the records so that you've got the right information on your tree. Nothing worse than following the wrong line of family. It really is terrible. And you really need to cite your sources. That is, give the information on where you got it, when you got it, and what sort of information it was, where it came from. That's really important. Then, one of the most important things when you're doing research, when you first start, you might be so enthusiastic that you forget to do backups. And that's so important. It is just major. There's nothing worse than having to restart from the very beginning. I've had to do it myself. Guilty as charged I am. I don't want you to do it. So I'm giving you some really, really valuable information here. So don't forget that. Back up, back up, back up. And one thing I've noticed that people doing lots of snaps with their cameras and with their phones, particularly now, it's so easy to get an accumulation of photos but not do anything with them. I know some people that actually go and print up some photos, and I think that's a really good idea to have the digital copy and have a paper copy as well. It's not so bad, just the ones that you really like. But back them up, put them in a cloud, put them somewhere, but back them up. Then I think that you really need to have an understanding of your family's timeline, and you can get that very easily by doing a bit of research on history, finding out when major events happen. Particularly, I've found really useful to go back and actually find out when things happened. The potato famine meant that a lot of the Irish females and males fled Ireland. So check that. If that's when your family arrived in the country where you are now, that could be a reason why they actually arrived. So that's really important. So again, I'm Fiona from genealogyhangout.com, and I'm giving you some super tips once you've got started in tracing your family history. And ancestry is so important. You want to know, where do I come from? That's a question people ask. So don't limit yourself to ancestry.com. In fact, why not come and visit and join genealogyhangout.com for $4.95 a month. You can get some fantastic help. You don't need to search the internet. I've already done it for you. I don't know if you know it, but Google has an algorithm. That means that it will help you to really find what you're looking for. Now, I've built mine up. I built mine up over a period of time since Google actually started. I certainly started using Google very shortly after it started, and I can find things quite well. So I've done a lot of searching. I've got a lot of links, videos, and resources on the site, so you don't have to pay an extreme fortune for something that you know you're going to need. And ancestry can be very confusing to the beginner. So that's another thing. And don't limit yourself to just the internet. I actually mentioned last time that it's really important to get off the internet and go and visit some record offices, some libraries, make yourself known to some of the people there. It's really great to have some connections in libraries, in resource centres, record centres, and the family history centres. That is so important. And make sure that if someone asks you for some information or to share a photo, do it gladly. In fact, offer that to people, because sometimes people aren't expecting it. And I found genealogy to be very, very rewarding. So when one is using ancestry as a main source, you can get a lot of misinformation. So for genealogy gets started, here's a summary. Don't just copy other people's trees. It's not going to help. And in fact, it can make something really messy. Nothing worse than cleaning up a big mess. And I think that's really important for genealogy when you get started. And family history can be so rewarding. So make sure that you're reading the information before attaching it to your tree, and make sure that it makes sense. And don't forget to cite your sources and put the information down where you got the information and where you found it. Sometimes it's good to put where the information come from, but you actually need to also put where you found it, so that makes sense for someone else that picks it up. Make sure you back up your trees and also your pictures and your documents. So take photos of your documents and keep them in a cloud, or print them up and keep them off site. So do some backup there, that's really important. And check the historical context for where your family was at a certain point in time, and make sure you understand why they were there. That can be very helpful. And my main concern is you don't just get on ancestry.com and take everything there and get lots of information and then find yourself really confused. There's so many people that have done that. You don't need to spend big bickies. Actually, you only need to spend $4.95 a month on genealogyhangout.com. That is the best kept secret in town. And I've had lots of people say how good they're finding the information. I just want to make sure that I'm going to remember to show you the 5-minute genealogy, the information DVD, which you can purchase from ebay.com for the moment. Will be available shortly on genealogyhangout.com. For the moment, eBay. Fantastic value. Feedback has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Everyone who's used it has found it to be super, super, super. And the feedback I'm getting is just mind-blowing. I cannot believe it. Everyone's telling me that every child in high school should have this. Well, hopefully they will. Not too sure. But let's get started. Let's start soon. So don't limit yourself to the internet research. Make sure you get to know people in libraries and resource centres, and share what you have. Don't be horrible and keep it all to yourself. Pay it forward, give it out freely, and you'll be amazed at what comes back. Until next time, don't forget genealogyhangout.com. See you soon. Bye for now. Cheers.